it's your girl Monica, the Curvy Diva, host of the Plus Report. I have here today with me Cora Harrington, the Lingerie Addict, author of An Intimate Detail. And look at the book. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh, the colors, just it's classic, just like so many pieces in lingerie that I love. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. We are glad to have you here in the DMV today for a book signing. So my first question is, I know you probably get this asked all the time, what made you love lingerie?
I've always been fascinated by lace and by silk, by textiles and textures, and especially by fashion, because I think it says so much about the world we live in and about our bodies. Excuse me. And I feel like lingerie is kind of the perfect intersection of my love for fashion and my interest in culture and society. And also, it's just pretty.
It is. I mean, you see what I'm wearing today. I mean, lingerie is beautiful. It makes a woman feel sexy.
Well, it makes us feel good. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have a well-fitting bra, a pair of satin pajamas, a beautiful camisole, a pair of stockings you love, you just feel good about yourself and about the skin you're in, and that matters so much.
It does. So when it came to writing the book, I mean, you break things down. I mean, like even like the first, it's like bras, and you're going into like straight detail about the construction of the bra and all, and that's so important. How did you learn it? Did you learn by just like did you go to fashion school, or did you just learn by like looking at different designers and reading other books?
So I did not go to fashion school. My background is not in the fashion industry. My background is in sociology and anthropology. And I had a whole different career before I started doing this in nonprofits.
Okay.
But I love learning about fashion. I love learning about the clothes people wore in the past, what people wear today. I've always had an interest in fashion. And so I'm a bit of an obsessive researcher. I love reading about lingerie and about the history of fashion. I love asking people things. I feel very lucky and that I've had so many designers and so many lingerie and fashion industry experts share their education with me and share their points of view with me.
Okay.
And then I also get a lot of inspiration from my readers who will tell me, hey, we want to know the answer to this question. And so I'll go and research it, and I'm able to bring that information back to them. So I see myself as almost a bit of a connector between fashion experts, industry experts, the people that are sewing and making our lingerie, and then between the end consumer.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. I mean, we all have different backgrounds. Like, I do something totally different than most interviews all the time. But that's interesting because, like I said, when I started reading the book, I've had the book for a while. When it first came out, I'm a bit of a fan. Since you all know, I do my boudoir shoots. Love lingerie. But like when I really started reading it and like learning more, it takes me now differently when I go to buy bras or go to buy lingerie. I'm looking at the construction. I'm looking at how things are sewn and everything about lingerie before I'm even trying it on, and just looking at reputable brands differently.
And that's what I wanted to happen. I feel like the purpose of An Intimate Detail is to give you the vocabulary and to give you kind of that knowledge base so that you can go to stores and do exactly that. Because I think especially in America, we're not really raised to know what lingerie is, what it means, different types of quality. And so the purpose of An Intimate Detail is really to give everybody that kind of introductory knowledge about everything intimate apparel so they can go out and buy the lingerie of your dreams.
Yeah, I mean, because I think the first time I got a bra, I was like, Mom was like, okay, let's go to Macy's or Sears or something. This looks like it fits you. Okay, I really didn't know how a bra was supposed to be fit until actually last year. I went to Lingerie in Georgia, and they got me in a bra. And I mean, they didn't do the tape measure thing, and it was just different where they told me like where the wiring is supposed to sit on your breast and how it really should look and where your actual breast tissue is. And so I think like with learning that and then reading the book, you learn more because the bra is like that core piece. And then you get into maybe like the corset, the panty, the pajamas and everything, just to add those pieces to it. But like I said, the bra is just like that core thing that you need to be like, okay, the girls are sitting up now, what's next?
Well, I feel like if you have a bra that's comfortable and supportive for you, then as you said, you can add on those other pieces.
Right.
But if your bra is chafing, if it's leaving red marks, if it's causing you pain and discomfort, I mean, that affects your whole day. Your day is not going to be as good as it could be because you have this thing that's bothering you and annoying you, and that's just not good.
Yeah. So what is before? And I know we talked about bras, but what's your favorite piece of lingerie?
Right now, I'm in a bit of a caftan mood. So I
Okay.
just purchased a velvet caftan from Notori, and right before that, I purchased a silk caftan from Christine Lingerie.
Okay.
And I'm just very into this idea of just having billowing, luxurious fabric as I'm walking through my house.
So do you do that? You wear lingerie like around the house?
Yeah,
all the time?
I wear my caftans at home. I wear my pajamas at home. I mean, my husband isn't very much into lingerie, so I mean, what I buy and what I wear is very much for me. I love wearing a beautiful robe at home when I'm sitting down watching TV.
Right.
I mean, I'm wearing lingerie right now. This is a silk camisole.
Right,
I'm
and I
wearing a
like
sheer
that.
bodysuit underneath. I also think it's important to think about how you can incorporate these pieces in your day-to-day life.
Right.
Whether that's wearing them at home with a glass of wine as you're unwinding, or putting them into outfits and wearing them out and about, just as much as you can, making this a part of who you are.
Right. So have your followers and your readers gotten back to you over the years and told you like how much you've encouraged them to be more into lingerie or love it for themselves and not? Because I hear so many women say, well, I don't need that. I don't have a partner or something like that. And I'm like, lingerie is for you, because I think for me, like even with like just wearing the simple bra and panty, if it's the right fabric, I don't care how conservative my outfit looks. I feel like I am woman, hear me roar under that dress or that suit or whatever. And so do your readers get back to you like that?
They do say that. And one of the things my readers often say is that the Lingerie Addict, or my book, was kind of their first encounter with a conversation about lingerie that was not focused on sexiness or sex appeal, or how a husband or a boyfriend or a partner might see you in lingerie. And that's very deliberate. Our focus has, for a long time now, been about how these garments make you feel, how they affect your perception of yourself, and not so much about how they make you look for someone else. And I think that's so important for a variety of reasons. For the first reason, because we're worth it. Like, we're worth buying things for ourselves just because we love it. But also because I believe we face so much pressure already from society and from the world to look a certain way, to be a certain way, for our bodies to be a certain way, that I want to create a space, however small, that is saying, no, you're fine as is. Like, you don't need to change, you don't need to fix yourself. That's not what we're about. I just want to help you find something you love. And I don't think we have enough spaces that encourage us to do that.
And that's a perfect segue into my next question. Now, you know, I come from the plus fashion industry, and a lot of women are self-conscious about their bodies, no matter what size they are, but especially plus size women with wearing lingerie and just being a little bit bolder about it. And I know before we started the interview, we were discussing some of the brands and what they're doing. How do you feel with the uptick of plus size fashion? How is it also translating to plus size lingerie?
So my specialty is not plus size fashion. I don't really feel, I feel like I would be overreaching a bit if I were to comment kind of on the plus size fashion industry in general. Like I'm very much niche down. But I can say that we're starting to see finally a lot of similar conversations that are happening in plus size fashion coming into lingerie. The lingerie industry is a very conservative industry. It does tend to be very slow to change. So in a lot of ways, I do think it's behind the more mainstream plus size fashion industry in terms of having these conversations and discussing size expansions and really thinking about the plus size customer. But the good thing is, I think we have seen certain brands, especially in the last few years, really go after that customer and create beautiful garments for them. Playful Promises is one.
Hey,
Playful Promises.
Yes, I am the Gabby Fresh
Yes,
line.
I think they do a wonderful job of creating pieces that are just as luxurious and just as wonderful for that plus size customer, and creating things that like their core size customer would want as well. Like, I'm kind of jealous I couldn't buy these satin pajamas because I think they're wonderful. And I think that's a great thing because it shows that they're putting in the work for the design and for the quality. I think Alomi is another great plus size brand. They've really changed their design aesthetic in the last few years, made it more modern, more up to date, a little more fashion oriented, which I think has been great. Another plus size brand I like is Curvy Couture. They've also become more fashionable in recent years. They have some beautiful lace bras, some beautiful bralettes. So I do think we are seeing some changes in the industry, but there's always more to do and there's always further to go.
So what's your next big thing that you want to do with lingerie? Like, where's your next level? Because you have the book. Have you even thought about where to go next with it?
Oh, it's so hard because I have so many ideas and so many things I want to do. I love to write another book. I don't feel like I've explored everything there is to talk about with this subject. I want to do more events, more interviews. I mean, we're at a book signing right now where I really get to talk to people in person about lingerie. I'd love to have something like, I don't know, lingerie soirees or teas where we can just come together and do what we're doing right now, like show off our favorite pieces and talk and build each other up. Because again, we don't have a lot of spaces where that's possible.
We don't, and I think more women need that.
Yeah.
I think that you are doing a great service.
Thank you so
to
much.
even make people comfortable and even learn about it, just to have, like you said, the conversation about how people feel about lingerie, what they're looking for, how to be comfortable in it, actually, because that's the biggest thing. Because once you have the conversation, it's like, well, what am I comfortable with?
Exactly.
And I, like a lot of people, if you look at my social media, I need to do one soon, but I do a lot of boudoir photography, and it's not for anyone's pleasure. Yes, I do post it because it's like that being bold. People don't think that plus size women can do it, but I do it mostly for me because I love lingerie and I love the way it makes me feel. And I think,
and that's the best reason.
It is. I think that as well. Like the photographer that has taken most of my boudoir photos, she's plus size as well. So she kind of knows, like, you know, women, we're always about like, my angles and how am I gonna look in that. So she really caters to that. Like she knows where people are a little sensitive about something. And I think that's what gets people down about lingerie. Like, oh, I'm not gonna look like, I hate to say it, the Victoria's Secret model that's on the catalog or on that photo, or, you know, Fredericks of Hollywood, or any of those other brands.
That's a big reason why there are no models in the book. It's all watercolor illustrations, because I know that when you see a photo of a model in lingerie, without even thinking about it, you instantly compare yourself to her. It's not conscious. It's just something I think we've all learned to do. And the reason I wanted to only have illustrations in the book is because you can look at the pieces and think about them and imagine yourself in them without comparing yourself to someone else.
I like that because there are a lot of comparisons, just even with everyday fashion.
Right.
We're always kind of like, oh, I don't look like that. Oh, I need a shaper. So
I could never wear that. I would never look like her. And I didn't want people to start off their lingerie journey making those comparisons.
Well, that's great. I am so happy about this book. If you guys have not picked up an intimate detail, please pick it up. Tell them where you can find the book.
Oh, of course. So it's sold on Amazon. It's sold in Barnes & Noble. A lot of local bookstores have it. So if you want to shop local, please ask your local bookseller if they either have it in stock or could bring it in for you. And if you are based in the UK, it's also sold on Amazon UK.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you for
I know you got to get to signing books and everything, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm a big fan, so I'm like, right now.
No, this was wonderful. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you. All right. Bye.